So what's up everybody, Black Clover 327, spoilers out. This chapter is quick, but it's very hype. I knew Asta was gonna give Lucifero some type of trouble, but not to this extent. I know some people are gonna be a little bit mad about that, but hey, it is what it is. Also, I will talk about something that concerns me about Black Clover. I mean, it's with every manga, but there's a reason why this chapter is 9 pages. So let's get into this. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, like 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛𝚒 hit me with some false copyright strikes, so I have to restart the channel all over again. So if you're an old subscriber and you're wondering why you're not subscribed now, it's because of the fact that this is a new channel that I had to restart. Regardless if you're new or old, a like, comment, and subscribe is highly appreciated. The Discord is up. Bear with me, I'm still kind of new to Discord. The username is 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚢𝚛𝚒. The link is in the description. Also, watch out for the Patreon. Lastly, I'm actually starting another channel. It's gonna be One Piece and other mangas that you guys can recommend me, and I'll do arc and chapter reviews. So this chapter is very short. It's actually only 9 pages. It's very concerning to me because Tabata is human. He just did the color page for the magazine. He also did the color cover for the new volume. So he is overstressed right now, and it concerns me that this is only 9 pages because he seems to be very overworked, and I'm worried about him because during these times is when like the author will either start rushing the story more and wants to finish their manga as soon as possible, or they're going to start doing the Oda route. And I hope he does the Oda route, because if Tabata starts taking more breaks, I think he's going to be more rejuvenated, because right now he seems to be very overworked. This chapter only being 9 pages is really strong showing of that. Just sending good vibes to Tabata. Hopefully he's good. So the chapter is actually called Anti-Magic. There is a break next week. Like I said before, it's because of all the work that he's been doing, and he deserves it. The chapter literally starts off where Black Clover 326 ended. Asta has a new Devil Union form, and this is possibly dubbed as the true Devil Union form. It was clear when Asta and 𝚲𝚘𝚎 were training with Not to do the Devil Union, they had a hard time. So we all knew that the Devil Union they had before was not the perfect one. It was kind of hinted that was the case because they synced with each other, but it was synced out of necessity. Remember, they were basically fighting Not, and they thought Not was going to try to kill them, and they did a Devil Union out of necessity. Asta learning more about 𝚲𝚘𝚎 made this true Devil Union possible. So it's not like this true Devil Union is a complete ass pull like people will say. However, this power scaling, you have a good argument because it's kind of wacky at this point, but it does make sense because Asta does have anti-magic, and with this new Devil Union, of course the anti-magic is going to weaken out people who do have mana and use magic. So it is somewhat of a counterbalance to Lucifero. I think Lucifero's punches were stronger because he was using some form of gravity magic with it, which was making his punches stronger. Hopefully those power scaling people are not going to make Twitter explode, because Tabata right now, he's exhausted. So give him a little bit of break. There is no double spreads on this chapter. It looks like Asta has an anti-magic zone. We were kind of teased that when Asta was fighting the twin devils. He used, I believe, the demon destroyer sword. He raised it up, and basically Lilith and Ahima's magic was wiped out. Now it seems like Asta doesn't need to even do that. He can just do it at will. With that, all magic that touches Asta is completely useless. And this does bring more credibility to what I said before. I think Lucifero did use gravity magic on his punches to have a more devastating blow. And that's why when Asta gets punched in the face, he just looks at it. Somebody that has been using magic for a long time is surprised that somebody with this much anti-magic can cancel that out. And that punch is a lot less devastating. Lucifero basically continues to punch Asta. He does like a Luffy type of rapid gun type of punch where you see a bunch of punches going out. Asta is just being a boss this whole chapter. Asta grabs Lucifero by the arms, and then he does a black slash and rips off Lucifero's newly grown arms. So those arms that he saw in the last chapter, Asta just chops it off with a black slash. That is so epic. I mean, this is beyond crazy. I love Black Clover, man. Even when 9 pages, it's super hype. Obviously this chapter is more action packed, so there's not much dialogue going on here. Not actually wonders, is this the true Devil Union? Which kind of goes back to what I said before. It was hinted that this was gonna happen. Remember, Asta and 𝚲𝚘𝚎 were in a rush to do Devil Union, so it's clear that they weren't going to master it or perfect it to a certain sense. And now that they have more time doing Devil Union, they're going to get better. It's just a natural thing. The more you do something, something, the better you get. So it makes sense that this is the true devil union. It's not coming out of nowhere. 𝚲𝚘𝚎 actually has a flashback when he recruited Asta. With all that now, 𝚲𝚘𝚎 saying Asta is amazing. This is a great moment for 𝚲𝚘𝚎 because 𝚲𝚘𝚎, he did the right choice in bringing Asta to the crew, but he also knows that Asta has gone so far. Because remember, Asta at one point, nobody wanted him to be a part of the squad, and now I'm pretty sure a lot of those captains regret not recruiting Asta. Because I mean, he's doing what the captains rejected him can't do. He's standing on his own with the King of Devils. That's something that none of them could do together. It looks like it wasn't a shadow clone that Lucifero threw his hand on. There was a theory that one of you guys said in the comments, and I agreed. It doesn't look like they were shadow clones that got stabbed. It looks like it was actually 𝚲𝚎𝚎 and Not that got stabbed with Lucifero's arms, because you see 𝚲𝚎𝚎 and Not with a lot of blood coming out of their mouth, and it's clear they're on death's door. So even with the blood coming out of their mouth, even with a stab wound through their body, they're noticing all these things about Asta, and I love it. Hopefully something happens that doesn't allow 𝚲𝚎𝚎 and Not to die. I still don't think they're gonna die, but still kind of left open-ended in this chapter. It looks like Asta only has 5 seconds in this new form, so I was somewhat correct. I had a feeling that there's still going to be a time limit with this form, most likely because, you know, this is their first true devil union. Asta still has levels to perfect this devil union, which tells me that there is going to be continuous arcs after this, because if Asta would have just perfected devil union and have no time limit, kind of shows me that the story is basically ending at this moment. But no, Asta still has to grow some more with the devil union. And then Asta managed to land a kick to Lucifero's face, which sends Lucifero flying. Lucifero's bleeding from what it looks like. This is epic. Hopefully we get to see the anti-magic whip that we saw when Asta was in berserker mode, but from what it looks like, we're not gonna get that this chapter. Regardless, this chapter was fire. Even if it was 9 pages, Tabata deserves that rest. Hopefully he can start taking more rest moving forward, so that way he's not burnt. The very ending of the chapter says the counter attack begins. That's what the narrator is saying. But yes, this is epic. So that's all I have to say about this chapter. Let me know what you think about the spoilers. Let me know what you think about Asta giving Lucifero problems. What do you think about Tabata's health? Do you think it's going to affect Black Clover moving forward? Do you think Tabata should take the Oda route where he has like 3 or 4 chapters and then takes a break? How do you feel about Asta basically kicking Lucifero so hard that he sent him flying? Do you think that Asta is going to get out of Devil Union soon because he only has a couple of seconds left, even though the end of the chapter says the counter attack starts? But at this moment, Asta is about to get out of Devil Union for what we know about. So I wonder what's going to happen next chapter. Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.